If your marketing is not driving revenue, maybe you need to think beyond budget and digital marketing channels. I have seen that in most cases, the underlying issue is almost always strategic. It could be the wrong ICP, unclear positioning, a disconnect between marketing and sales, or using the wrong measurement framework. In this video, I'll walk you through the 7 most common reasons marketing fails to produce revenue, how to diagnose which one is breaking your system, and what to fix first. As a founder, you might be frustrated because what marketing is doing is not connecting to revenue. I have seen that in a majority of businesses, marketing teams report on things they can check off a project management board. For example, how many campaigns or content were launched, how many leads were generated, or emails were sent. The issue here is that none of these are revenue metrics. And that's why these metrics fail to answer whether marketing is actually producing business results. Because of this, marketing feels like a cost center because it's being measured like one. If your metrics are wrong, everything you optimize afterward moves you in the wrong direction. Marketing drives interest or top of the funnel activity, and sales closes deals. But what about the gap between the two? I'm talking about the conversion journey from the first marketing touch to the signed contract. That gap is where revenue disappears. Marketing achieves the lead targets, and yet sales still see a weak pipeline. In this case, your conversion is broken. When marketing is not driving revenue, tactical things like switching channels or increasing the spend, hiring a marketing agency, or maybe adding a new marketer is not going to help. In fact, you will just burn the budget faster. Without a clear target audience or strong positioning and shared metrics, marketing is not going to drive revenue. Let's discuss the most common reasons marketing fails to drive revenue. Marketing optimizes for what it measures. If you track clicks, impressions, and marketing qualified leads, you will get more of those, but you will not get more revenue. And this is what I call the vanity metric trap. And when this happens, your marketing reports still look healthy, yet you will miss revenue targets. In this case, the founder and the marketing team are looking at an entirely different picture of the same business. The right thing to do here is to replace vanity metrics with revenue-connected metrics. Think about pipeline contribution, customer acquisition cost, marketing source revenue percentage, and the conversion rate from marketing qualified lead to sales qualified leads. Change the metrics and the behavior will definitely change. I want you to pay attention to this one. Marketing to the wrong audience produces leads that never convert to revenue. Every dollar spent reaching people who won't buy adds to higher customer acquisition cost and zero revenue. For a lot of businesses, targeting mid-market B2B companies sounds reasonable as it produces a huge unconverted audience where the right fit buyers are buried under a huge pile of wrong fit ones. This forces marketing to spend more to reach fewer qualified buyers. And this drives your customer acquisition cost up and the conversion rates down at the same time. If this is the case, you should rebuild the ICP from closed-won data. Which customers converted fastest, paid reliably, and retained longest? The right ICP feels restrictively specific. If it does not feel too narrow, it's probably still too broad. If your positioning sounds like everyone else, buyers will not be able to tell you apart. That leads to price pressure, slow deals, and no decisions. I've seen everyone talking about the same thing. We help businesses grow, we deliver results. Buyers tune this out. This leads to longer sales cycle, lower win rates, and slow-moving deals. Define a specific buyer, a specific problem, and a clear outcome. Strong positioning makes the right buyers self-select and wrong buyers disqualify themselves. Both outcomes reduce your customer acquisition costs and improve the revenue conversion. When marketing generates leads and sales ignores them, the pipeline does not grow, and both budget and time are wasted on both sides. This is a clear case of misalignment. Marketing and sales are using different definition and metrics, and that's why there's no shared ownership. The answer to this misalignment or disconnect between marketing and sales is shared ownership. Agree on what a qualified lead is, define the handoff, and review the pipeline together every week. Most funnel problems come down to one stage that is quietly leaking revenue. Let's start with a visitor to the lead stage of the funnel. Users or people are showing up, but they are not converting. The offer feels weak, the call to action is unclear, or the message does not match what the buyer actually cares about. The next stage is lead to marketing qualified leads. The wrong signals are getting prioritized. Someone downloads a piece of content or clicks around the website, but they were never a real fit to begin with. Marketing qualified lead to sales qualified lead stage. The handoff between marketing and sales falls apart. Follow-up is too slow, or sales teams ignore leads because they do not trust the quality. Sales qualified lead to opportunity stage. The discovery conversation missed the mark. Positioning is weak, objections are not handled well, and buyers leave unconvinced. Opportunity to close stage. Deals slow down late in the process. Competitors get stronger, internal champions disappear, or procurement slows everything down. Map the conversion rate at every funnel stage. Find the biggest drop-off, fix that stage before touching anything else. Fixing the largest leak produces more revenue impact than optimizing every other stage altogether. I've seen that marketers produce a lot of B2B content for the content calendar. They do not focus on the buyer's journey. Of course, with high content output, you will grow organic traffic. But readers and buyers are different audiences with different needs. Content that does not map to specific buyer question at specific funnel stages does not produce revenue regardless of its quality. Audit your existing content against the buyer journey. Which content helps a prospect recognize a problem and want to solve it? Which helps them evaluate options? Which enables a buying decision? Which equips a sales conversation? Assign every content piece a job. Content without a job is marketing spend without a revenue connection. Without executive ownership, marketing becomes activity-driven. When the most senior marketing role is a manager or director, the focus stays on campaigns, content, and leads, instead of the pipeline, CAC, or revenue. Managers run execution, and marketing leaders or chief marketing officers own outcomes. A lot of businesses between $3 million and $20 million average recurring revenue are stuck here. They bring in strong execution but lack executive ownership of revenue impact. Because of this, internal targets are met, but their revenue impact is unclear, and the CEO has no visibility into what is actually working. The solution here is to bring in a marketing leader, whether a fractional CMO or a full-time CMO, who is responsible for pipeline, customer acquisition cost, and revenue contribution. I use a 5-minute audit framework to diagnose which issue is preventing revenue growth. Can marketing tell you what percentage of closed revenue comes from marketing activity? If the answer is no, this means the measurement system is broken. You cannot diagnose anything until you fix this. This suggests that your marketing is optimizing for the wrong metrics. Are more than 30% of marketing qualified leads converting to SQLs? If the answer is no, your targeting or handoff is broken. Maybe you have too broad ICP, or lead qualification and follow-up are misaligned. Are you losing deals to no decision or not the right time? If the answer is no, this means your positioning is not differentiated. Buyers cannot see a clear reason to choose you, so they choose nothing. Is content producing pipeline or just website traffic? If it's just producing traffic, this means the content is not connected to buying decisions. Content source pipeline is not being tracked, or it does not exist. Who is accountable for marketing's contribution to revenue? If there is no one, this means there is a leadership gap. Without executive ownership, diagnosis and fixes do not stick. If you can only measure one thing first, calculate your marketing sourced revenue. This is the share of closed revenue that came from marketing generated opportunities. For growth stage B2B businesses, a healthy range is 30 to 50%. It shows that marketing is actually driving revenue. If this is below 20%, this means that marketing is not independently driving revenue. It may be supporting sales conversations, but it's not creating the pipeline. And if you cannot calculate this metric, that means your measurement system is broken. You cannot diagnose anything until you fix the attribution. If the 5-minute audit shows a few possible issues, a 30-day review will identify the main one. In the first week, map the funnel conversion rate at each stage. Visitor to lead, lead to MQL, MQL to SQL, SQL to opportunity, and opportunity to close. The biggest drop shows the main problem. Review the customer acquisition cost by channel and marketing sourced revenue. This shows if targeting or pipeline generation is broken. Audit content against the buyer's journey. Find gaps in decision and sales support content. Check sales and marketing alignment. Look for shared definitions, handoff process, and regular joint reviews. This will give you a clear diagnosis of what is breaking revenue and what to solve or fix first. You cannot fix what you cannot see. If marketing cannot track what drives revenue, everything else is guesswork. You need a basic KPI set first: pipeline contribution, CAC, MQL to SQL conversion, and marketing sourced revenue. Once those are in place, the real problem becomes clear. And once it's clear, you can actually fix it. Channels only distribute the message. If the message is wrong or the audience is off, the channel cannot fix it. Fixing your ICP and positioning improves conversion across every channel at once without increasing spend. It is the highest leverage fix because it makes everything else work better. Spending more on a misaligned system just scales waste. More leads going into a broken handoff means more wasted sales time. Fix alignment before you increase the budget. Aligned teams can produce 50 to 80% more pipeline from the same spend because fewer leads get lost between marketing and sales. Adding more leads to a funnel with 15% MQL to SQL conversion rate is not going to grow your revenue. However, it certainly raises your customer acquisition cost. Find the biggest drop in the funnel and fix it first. Then increase top of the funnel volume. Fixing the weakest stage improves conversion across everything that flows through it. Once measurement is in place, your ICP is clear, your positioning is strong, and you have fixed alignment, and you have closed the biggest funnel leak, then it is time to scale. At this stage, every new lead enters a system that converts, and every dollar reaches the right audience, and every qualified lead gets fast follow-up. I was working with a B2B SaaS business at 4.4 million ARR. Even with 200 MQLs per month, the pipeline was flat and they were missing revenue targets. During my conversations with the leadership, including finance and sales, all I heard was that marketing is not working. They were targeting any B2B SaaS business above a revenue threshold. The ICP was based on assumptions, not on closed-won data. So good fit buyers were buried in bad fit volume. The marketing qualified leads were defined by content engagement such as downloading a guide, attending a webinar, or visiting 3 to 4 pages. The marketing qualified lead volume was high, but the quality was really low. Qualified leads were sitting 3 to 5 days before sales contact. Sales had stopped trusting marketing leads. Marketing could not show revenue impact. There was no clear link to ARR. I analyzed their best customers and narrowed their ICP to B2B SaaS businesses with $2 million to $10 million in revenue, with a specific tech stack and a defined organizational structure. At first, their marketing qualified lead volume dropped, but the quality improved immediately. We made sure that we have a firmographic fit before behavioral signals could qualify a lead. MQLs now required both fit and intent. We enforced a one-day follow-up SLA in the CRM, and we ran weekly joint pipeline reviews. So sales started working marketing leads because the quality improved and the accountability was shared. We established attribution for the first time, showing exactly how much pipeline and revenue came from marketing. With all these efforts, their revenue grew from $4.4 million to close to $7.8 million, and the customer acquisition cost dropped 22% in around 18 months. We were also able to grow their marketing source pipeline from 15% to 41%. I want you to understand that we did not add more channels. We did not increase the budget either. We fixed the 4 core issues blocking the existing system from producing revenue. Marketing that is not driving revenue is telling you something very specific. It's not telling you to spend more or try different channels. This is an indicator that something in the foundation is broken. It could be your ICP, your positioning, your alignment, the measurement, or maybe even the leadership. Find the broken thing, fix it in the right order, and then scale.